guys, welcome back to my channel. So if you've seen this look already, it's because I'm recording a couple videos so that we could keep our 21-day challenge going. Like I said, didn't upload Thursday. Yeah, I gotta give me time to edit all these videos because it's hard. Okay, I got videos for y'all. I got videos. But today is a video explaining my first son's, I don't even know how to start off the video. So back in 2013, I was 20. Ooh, I was 20 going on 21. I don't really know. I can't remember, but I think we had went to the zoo with my now sister-in-law and my niece and nephew. We had went to the zoo, and I was just telling her that I felt weird. Like, I felt off. Like, something's not right. And she was like, "You're pregnant." And I'm like, "No, the heck I'm not." And she was like, I believe you're pregnant. And I'm like, "Nah, I don't think so. I just feel weird. I'm really tired. I don't know. I ain't never been pregnant before, so that was the last thing on my mind. I wasn't even thinking about it. So I think it might have been like a week or so later, and my mom was like, "Oh, we're gonna schedule you a womanly checkup." And I'm like, "Oh, okay, that's fine, I guess." So we called, scheduled the appointment. I was nervous. I'm not even gonna lie, I was kind of nervous because the way I was feeling, I wasn't used to feeling that way. I was super tired, like tired, like so tired. But the kicker is I couldn't sleep at night. But I was so tired. Throughout the day, I was going to school, I was work, I was exhausted. Like, I was over the top exhausted. But when it came to nighttime, I couldn't sleep. Like, y'all, I even bought the Vicks sleep medicine, because I could not sleep. Like, it was just that bad where I couldn't sleep. But I was so tired, like it didn't make sense to me. So I think it was about, I think I had like maybe 2 or 3 weeks before my appointment, before they can get me in. So I think maybe like a week before my appointment, me, my mom, and my boyfriend, who is my husband now, we went to Buffalo Wild Wings. And we were just talking, and my mom had saw one of her friends that she knew. I don't know. She knows so many people. I don't know. She was across the parking lot talking to them. Mind you, y'all, my mom ain't one of those mamas that play. She didn't care how old I was. Even though I was about to be 21, she did not care. She didn't care. So me being pregnant wasn't something I was supposed to be doing. But we were talking, me and my boyfriend were talking. He was like, "You pregnant?" I was like, "No, I'm not." Like, we were on the parking lot literally arguing that my mom had to tell us to shut up because we were loud. Like, he just kept saying, "You're pregnant." I'm like, "No, I'm not. I am not pregnant." Like, stop saying it. Like, stop saying it. Because in my head, I think I kind of knew I was, but my mama, I was scared of her. So being pregnant wasn't an option. Even though I was doing what I was doing, being pregnant was not an option. No. No, that was just not supposed to happen. But my appointment came here. I'll never forget the day. My appointment came. It was September 12th, 2013. Like, I will never forget. And I was in the little room. I was super nervous. I asked her, I was like, are you going back with me? And she was like, no, I'm not going back there with you. I'm like, oh, okay. But in my mind, I'm like, thank God. Thank God. Like, I was so fool. So I'll get back there, and I got this little sheet. And it's just a sheet full of different symptoms and things that you've been feeling. And she was like, the nurse came in and she was like, can you fill that out for me? And, you know, undress, whatever, you know, how you go to the doctor, the OB. So, the gynecologist, whatever you want to call it. So, I'm circling these things. And I'm like, gosh. I'm like, dang, I really feel this way. Like, I'm tired. I feel nauseous every now and then, a little cramping. I'm tired. Like, I'm tired. Y'all, I'm tired. So I'm like, okay. So I'm sitting there waiting on the doctor. And she comes in and she looks at the little thing that I circled my answers on. And she says, did you take a pregnancy test? And the nurse was like, I'm not sure. And I'm like, no, I didn't. No. Yeah, when I come back in a room, the doctor came back in the room and was like, congratulations, you're pregnant. You know, I told this lady she was lying to her face. I told her she was lying. Like, no, I'm not. And she was like, congratulations, you're pregnant. Because I think that's like the only thing they can say to you is congratulations. But I felt some type of way, like in my spirit, that didn't settle right with me. Even though, like I'm telling you, in the back of my head, I kind of knew, but I hadn't taken a pregnancy test. I didn't take a pregnancy test because what I thought was my period really wasn't my period. I don't know. I did bleed, like I did. When it was time for me to come on, I did. I did have what I thought was my cycle. I thought that was my cycle. But it wasn't. It wasn't. I remember because we went to Six Flags. I don't know. But she came in, she said, congratulations, you're pregnant. And then she did the little calculator thing. And it said, I was like 10 weeks pregnant. I was 10 weeks pregnant. 10. Y'all, how I go that long, I don't know. I don't know. So I was scared as fuck. I was scared. So with that, after that appointment, since I was so far along, in like 2 weeks, I was gonna be 12 weeks, and they were gonna do the anatomy scan and all that stuff, and tell me if the baby had Down syndrome and all that, and I had to schedule all that before I left there. So what was it? Oh, they had gave me a bag full of vitamins to try, like different vitamins, different brands, and things like that. And I had to schedule my appointment. You gonna let me finish? You gonna let me finish? And I had to schedule my appointment for 2 weeks later. I know, man. So how was I gonna explain coming back to the doctor in 2 weeks to my mama? I gotta come back to the doctor in 2 weeks. So I had to figure out a way. I know, man. I had to figure out a way how I was gonna tell her. Yeah, but then those 2 weeks, I had to figure out a way. So I'm like, oh my God. Like, what am I gonna do? I know. I'm like, what the fuck? What am I gonna do? So I remember contemplating writing her a letter. Or yeah, I know. Or just being a big girl and telling myself. Yeah. Y'all, it took me 3 days to tell my mama that I was pregnant. And it took 3 days because I was scared. I didn't want her to be disappointed in me, which that flew out. That was already done. But leaving the doctor, she was just like, how did it go? And I was like, oh, it was good. I think in a way she already knew. They say moms knows. I feel like she already knew in a way. I'm not sure. So we're leaving the doctor. I'm texting my boyfriend. He like, what they say? And I'm like, I was like 9 weeks, like 6 days. So the next day I was gonna be 10 weeks. So he was like, what? And I was like, yeah, meet me at your sister's house. This fool proceeds to call his mama. I said, I want to tell her together. This fool calls his mama and tells his mama that I'm pregnant. Mind you, he's off at school. He's off at school. He didn't go to school far away, but he's off at school. This fool called his mama. I'm like, I wanted to tell her together. What on God's green earth made you tell her? Now I gotta go sit there awkwardly by myself because you want to talk to me. Like, y'all, I don't know. So I finally see him. And he like, what we gonna do? And I'm like, what do you mean? What do you mean we're gonna do? We finna have a baby. I mean, is this ideal? No, because I'm a year older than him. So he was 19 at the time and I was 20. So he was about to turn 20, I was about to turn 21. Both our birthdays in October. So we have birthdays coming up. Yeah, when I finally sat down 3 days later and told my mom, she was walking by, and I was like, Mom, I need to talk to you. This is how I knew she knew, because the first thing, she was just walking, and she stopped, and she said, if you're about to tell me you're pregnant, I don't want to know. And what did my dumb butt say? Okay. Why did I say okay? Like, what? I know. What on God's green earth made me say okay? I will never know. But my mama picked up a remote and threw it at me. I think she was aiming for my head, but it hit me in my knee. Y'all. And she of course, she just blew up. She blew up. But I knew that was going to happen, and that's why I think it took so long for me to come out and just tell her, because I was scared. My mama crazy. I know she gonna see this, but y'all, I had told her, and she said, you're about to go and tell your daddy, and I was like, oh my God. But I was nervous to tell my dad, but I wasn't nervous to tell my dad. But we went and we told my daddy. I remember I knocked on the door, and I was like, hey, Dad. And I was like, tell him. Go ahead, tell him. Tell him what you did. And he was like, what? What's up? And I was like, I'm pregnant. And he was like, what? Congratulations. My mom was like, what? What do you mean, congratulations? And I was like, oh my. I'm like, oh my goodness. That was not the response that she was looking for. But he was just like, she's grown. What we gonna do? He's like, she graduated high school, no kids and things like that. He was like, we can't really be mad. I was in school, so hey, I don't know. So as time progressed, I was really sickly throughout this pregnancy. I had caught a virus. I still couldn't sleep. I was just sickly. I was just like really sickly throughout this pregnancy. So I remember always saying, I feel like I'm leaking. But nobody really I had never been pregnant before, but I just kept telling my boyfriend, I feel like, I feel like, I don't know, I feel like I'm leaking. I don't know, it's weird. Um, it's weird. So I think it was like Thanksgiving. Yeah, I was on Thanksgiving break from school, and so was he. So he was home, and and I started to have these I call them contractions because that's what they were. I was having contractions, and by this time I was like, I was almost 21 weeks. So I was like 20 weeks and like 5 or 6 days. And I was having these contractions to the point where I finally went to get checked out. And they hooked me up to the monitor, and they said, of course, the baby's too small, so we can't really monitor him, but we're going to hook you up to see if you're having contractions. So it did turn out that I was having contractions, but it was like, we're just going to send you home and get some rest and things like that. So I think because it was Thanksgiving, there were a couple people in town, and we went to go visit. And while we were visiting, my contractions started to get worse. And then when my mom went to go check on my grandmother, she dropped me off at my boyfriend's house. He was sick too. As I'm telling you, it was something going on that year. He was sick too, some type of stomach bug. I remember I had just had a stomach bug. And so I remember going home, and I said, I just want to soak in the tub. And I was running my bath water and things like that. And as I was stepping in the tub, I heard a splat. And I looked down and noticed that my water has started to break. Now, it wasn't like all together. It was just like leaking. That leaking feeling that I had been feeling for a while. But more came out. It was just... And I called my mom, and I told her my water broke. We went to the emergency room. The lady at the emergency room was really rude because I was having contractions. She was like, and when you get done with that one, I still need you to sign this paper. And I was just like, oh my God. But, so we got back to the room, and I remember them getting me on the bed. Like, I was undressed halfway, getting me on the bed, and my water finished breaking, and I just cried. And I cried. Because a week before, I just found out that I was having a boy. And so for a week later to come and my water's breaking, like that just... So I was just crying, and I just kept asking my mom. I said, did you call Artez? I'm like, call Artez. Like, have you called Artez yet? Like, I just kept asking. And she was like, I called him, Erica. He's coming. He coming as fast as he can. And I remember they pulled my mom out the room, and she told me this afterwards, but they just told her to prepare for the baby not to make it because he was so small. Like, just be prepared, you know, that he's not going to make it. So that I was distraught. I was distraught. And this was, my water broke November 29th of 2013. Mind you, I just found out I was 10 weeks pregnant in September. So I felt, it was such a short amount of time that I knew I was pregnant that once I was finally getting used to the thought of having a baby, I feel like it was being taken away from me. So my water broke. I was in labor from, I think my water broke. Let's backtrack. I went to get checked out. It was like 3 o'clock that Friday, November 29th. And I didn't have him until 6, almost 7 o'clock, November 30th. So I was in labor all of that time. I was having contractions. I remember my contractions were so bad, I was literally blacking out. Every time I opened my eyes, there was somebody different in my room, because I feel like I would literally pass out until I got my epidural. That's weird. That I don't like that feeling. Um, until I got my epidural, and then I started to kind of come to, and then I had a baby boy November 30th of 2013. I think I had him at like 6:52. So I was in labor from the day before all the way until the next day, next evening. I couldn't really, the feeling that I had, I can't really describe. Looking back on it, I feel like I should have, I don't know, I feel like being young, the feeling I had, I didn't know, I really didn't know what to think, because this was a lot to deal with, mainly because I'm young and pregnant. To now I'm losing this baby that I just started accepting the thought that I was about to be somebody's mother. So I feel like I didn't really show my emotions like I should have. I feel like I didn't really show the emotions that I should have. It was very hard for me to look at him at first. And it's not because, I don't know, but it was very hard for me to, I guess, accept the fact that I would never be able to take him home. I would never be able to create memories with him. I had so many plans. I had so many plans. Like I was telling you, when I accepted it, I accepted it. I had so many plans. I wanted us to go on these trips and do certain things. And I was so excited. It took a long time for me to look at him. And people were like, talk to him. You know, talk to him. He hears you. And he did. Because he was born alive. It's not like he was, you know, he was deceased when he was born. He was born alive. So if somebody was holding him and I started talking, he would start kicking. But it was very hard for me to process all of this. It was very hard for me to process all of it. Like this, it was a hard pill to swallow. I remember after everybody left, I don't know, I think my mom and our test stayed, or just my mom, I can't really remember. I remember they had him in the little baby bed next to me, and I had kind of dozed off, and when I woke up, I just stared at him, and I started to freak out. I think it really had hit me, because I was just staring at him at first. I was just staring, and I was just looking at him, and I called the nurse, and I was just freaking out. And she was like, what's wrong? I said, come get him. I said, please, just come get him. I said, please. I was just begging her to come get him because I was hurt. My heart was just broken. And just to see him laying there like that, because he lived for 2 hours, but they let me keep him in the room with me. So even after he had passed, he was still in the room with me. And I'm telling you, when I woke up, I could not fathom the point that he was laying. I couldn't do it. And I just woke up and I just, please come get him, please. And I was freaking out. I was like, please, like they had to give me like a breathing treatment and everything, because I was just freaking out. Cause I'm like, please come get him. I said, please. I'm like, I'm begging you, please come get him. She was like, okay, we're coming to get him. And they came and they took him away. Y'all, that was the worst thing I have ever been through in my life. I would never wish that on my worst enemy. To lose a child, even if he was here for 2 hours or he was here for a lifetime, but to lose a child, that was the hardest pill that I had to swallow. I can't even explain the emotions and the feelings that I was going through. I cried for weeks, every day, constantly. I cried and I cried and I cried, and people will be like, "Oh, you had the baby?" I will cry. Like, I will cry. I just cried so much, but I don't know what, as time went on, it got a little easier. Not really, I don't want to say easy because it wasn't easy, but it was easier to deal with. But there would still be moments where I would just cry. I had people tell me some cruel things, like, "Oh, just get over it. Go to therapy." I had people tell me things like that. "Oh, you'll be all right." Like, excuse you? Like, that's rude. I'm gonna tell you now, if someone loses a child, the last thing they want to hear are those things. You have to be really, I don't want to say step on eggshells, but step on eggshells, because some of the things that people be saying are rude and nasty, and they don't understand that in that state of mind, you are very sensitive. You are very sensitive. It was a hard pill to swallow. Um, I, I blame myself for what happened. Because I was like, I could have done something different. It was all my fault. I could have did something different. I don't know, maybe I didn't take my vitamins like I should have. I don't know. I would just blame myself. I blamed myself for what happened. But don't do that. I'm not laughing at you. I'm not laughing at you. But I would say, for anybody who has been through it, don't give up. Don't give up, because even though it seems like it's impossible, or it'll never happen, or it was your fault, or anything like that, one, is not your fault. They say things like that happen all the time. Although that's not something you want to hear either. I know a couple people that this has happened to. I don't know. I don't feel like it's normal. In my mind, it's still not normal. Make sure that you have a good support system, even if it's friends or family. He is so loud. Just take it day by day. Don't try to rush into going back into everyday life. Because I remember I went back to work and then I had to go back home because I just couldn't focus. Take it day by day. Write your feelings out if that's what you like to do. Yes, sir. Okay. Write your feelings out if that's what you like to do. Express yourself. Right. Get those emotions out. Don't hold that stuff in. If you gotta cry, scream. Do what you have to do. Is that what you have to do? Do that. It took us 6 years. 6 years to have a baby. Braylon wasn't born until 2019. Brayden was born in 2013. But Braylon came 6 years later. And even before Braylon, I lost 2 babies. So I was very discouraged. I would say don't give up. Keep pushing. Express yourself as much as you can. Don't hold those emotions in. That's the worst thing you can do for yourself, is hold that stuff in, because you're going to explode. You're going to explode. And it might be violently or in emotions or anything. But release those emotions in any type of way that you see fit. Don't let anybody deter you and tell you that you're crazy for feeling the way that you're feeling or anything like that, because you're not. You lost your baby. You lost your baby. And that's major. That's so major. Like I said, just express yourself. I thank you guys for watching this story time with me. I'll probably do another one. I'll probably do a labor and delivery story with Braylon. I'll probably do that one. And then, yeah, I thank you guys for tuning in. Like, comment, and subscribe. And I'll see you in the next video. Bye.